yeah.
Okay, so I've gotten everything together. Here is my mod walkthrough on my Sun Dolphin Boss 12SS. Yes, this is the Sun Dolphin version of I've removed all of the factory labels from it. For one thing, I had to put my hull numbers on it, which was super easy and cost me $65 here in Texas to register it. That's good for 2 years. So every 2 years after that, I pay, I think it's $32. So there it is overall. Oh, and then point out, I have indeed joined the PFD crowd. I have a, I believe that's the new 2019 version of the Chinook NRS and the Bayberry. Kind of choked up over that a little bit. It was a gift from an anonymous donor who have requested that they remain anonymous, so I won't say who it was. They've seen my videos and messaged me and asked me if I was wearing it out of a stance against wearing them or just for financial. I said if I had money to buy one that's coming enough to wear it, I would wear it. And they hooked me up. So thank you. And back to the boat. So here we go in its all entirety. I'll start at the bow because what better place to start than at the front. So here we have my battery box. You'll notice that it is held in place by the PVC tray system up front. This wraps around the battery box all the way around. Keeps it snug. It cannot shift. If I lean one way, the battery can't slide and go whoopsie. Inside, just your basic cheapo battery box. Amazon, I think, was like $6. I'm not a super big fan of these quick disconnect. They're a little big and bulky. Later on the back, I'll show you the quick connect. I'll just attach all these to the battery, leave them attached, and then have a true, like, I don't know what it is, like super heavy duty slide together quick connect. These are a little bulky and a little bit of pain to sit there and kind of pry them on and off under there. But so there's the batteries. Nothing really special about it. It doesn't have any connections on it. It just holds the battery. The tray system that you see here. Let me get this bag out of the way real quick. This is my lunch bag. Put up there for I can show you later what it all kind of looks like. But you can see the tray. By the way, all the wires are ran internal for this. They come in and they actually kind of see down there. There we go. You see down there, they come up, they go through this pipe, through the PVC pipe around here. The big heavy duty ones that are for the battery, and also the wires for the bilge pump go down through the rod holder. I had to drill a hole in the bottom of the rod holder, which is fine. I kind of got some silicone up around there for you ain't going to get no water in there anyway. So those wires go down for the battery and the bilge. The other wires come up, run through the pipe and run to the front panel. So that's kind of the back view of it. From the front, you can see I have my camera mount there for the front camera. I have the tray the tray, and you can see this is plenty sturdy. Tray when put stuff. Front panel, you can see there is USB port. Battery meter for the I can check the battery, and your standard 12 volt outlet. Over here, later I'll show you, this is in the bilge pump. I'm going to edit it in, but the this switch is 3-way for the bilge. Mill is off. On is an automatic, I believe. I need to label that, but it's pretty obvious when you flip it one way. If it comes on, you know you're in the manual mode. So 3 positions: off, manual on, auto on with the float switch. You see there it goes in the rod holder. In the hatch, I made it high enough that it come up there, kind of wedges against that, stays open, so you have access to the hull still from this hatch. And it also makes a perfect spot for a covered spot for my cooler, my soft side cooler, my Dollar General $5 soft side cooler. My sodas, my ice, water, my snacks, lunches, diabetics, so I have to make sure I have plenty of things to make sure my blood sugar stays stable. The little track mount, just placed for my my knife, kind of hooks on there. Oh, I didn't cover it. Up front, I have to pull a kayak a lot, so just a basic cord I can snap on and off. To be able to drag my kayak through these shallows. Brad's river fishing, there's a whole lot of times that you have to get out and pull it across shallows. My depth finder system, once again, it's a pay it forward type of deal on that. It was given to me, and I was told whenever I replace it, if it still works, to pass it forward. Homemade construction. The ball mount came with it, track mounted, so I can take the whole thing on and off, transducer arm and all, PVC. The transducer cable runs to it. This is flattened out drop-in bed liner plastic. Heat it up, flatten it out, cut it to shape. It's like poor man's Cadex. See, the transducer arm can swing up and down. This Cadex is wrapped around it. There's another piece on the bottom. Goes this weird looking thing. This thing is strictly to hold 20 foot of all that transducer cable in a nice neat area. Power cable goes up, runs into the battery. You see this also up here on the front tray is my front camera mount. There's a quick slide on and off, so it's right there. All those kind of work on those. Both of the wireless cams will work on a remote that hangs around my neck. I generally, the back one I leave on looping, and the front I turn on when I need it. But both of them plug into USB, so no worries of the battery ever going dead. I got pretty big SD cards in it, 64 gig SD cards in the action cams. And you see that long USB cable going all the way up front. It's kind of in the way. Works for now. Future plan is to install a USB plug back there for it. And the power cable for the motor is already back here. Here you can see my steering rod. It's just that simple. Little rest for it there. Kind of looks funky right now because the motor's all up in the upright position, but it lays level when the motor's fully down. You can kind of see the motor's resting on the ground now. There's a little just key clip put into a fiberglass rod that I can just clip it right on and off to that. So the whole thing comes off. There's the motor mount. Oh, I'm skipping forward. Let's go back here. Move this out of the way now. Here is my junk tray. You can see more. I made there'll be a section I'll edit here about how I did the seat. There's my junk tray. If you're going to have a seat that's double height, might as well have it. And yes, the seat will drop all the way back down into the brackets. It's not permanently high, since I use an existing original seat frame. It goes from high to low, which basically means the new high is, the new low is the old high. So if I was dropped in this low position, it sits about where it would if you were in the high position. And the new high is, like, of course, you can tell, that much higher than originally. Makes it much easier for me to stand up. It's my tackle tray box. 2-tier milk crate. Pretty simple. There's plenty of YouTubes on how to make one. I think I got 3 of the boxes off of Walmart for $27. Cut it down. That way I can have stuff bulk storage down in there, my emergency first aid kit, that kind of things. And my tackle boxes, this pretty much holds a Plano's. It's 3650s in here, and hold a lot of them, as you can tell. Hinges them, like I said, you can look it up on YouTube. There's plenty of way. It's basically zip tied together in the back, allows it to hinge. Put yourself some bungees to hold it down, hold it in place. This is the rod system, PVC. On the back, it sets off like this. That way the lid has room to open. Bungees there for, I can lay them back or just pull them back up, because if I had to go under trees, whatnot. The power cable from earlier that went from the battery up front runs through in the hull, comes out through this, comes up through this back rod holder, comes through the PVC. There's a hole here that the wire comes out on, and voila, super heavy duty, quick disconnect. Amazon, it was several bucks, 5 to 6, I think. Cheaper if you buy a pack of them. I should have bought a pack because I want to put one of these up front. Just permanently hook the cables to the battery, and then just use this for when I need to pull the battery in or out. Here's my motor mount. This is wood. I would prefer to do a HDP, like a 1/2-inch cutting board would work too. But you can see I made it to where it'll fit in this cutout that's already there. And drilled holes, and these are 1/4-20 jack nuts. They actually hold it down. There's 4 of them. Fender washers so it doesn't pull through the material. Also drilled a hole in the board here, not in the kayak. This is the original hole where this handle originally mounted, so that goes in there. So there's actually 6 hold downs onto this. And the bracket itself is just your stock standard bracket. Board comes up, 2 pieces of 2x4 here to give it some room. Just so that motor lift. I can't take credit for any ingenuity on this. This Axeman on YouTube, AKSMAN, did a wonderful how-to video on this removable shackle. That there's a point is tied here, the point comes up here, so you're not just a straight pull. It actually works like a pulley system, makes raising the lower motor much easier. Set your depth collar for when it's always down. Motor shaft is trimmed down some. Hose, a lot of people use. I had this laying around. This is a breather hose off my CPAP mask. Goes down, runs along, and comes down to this weird looking jalopy thing here, which is just a PVC pipe and bent flat pieces around the 3/5 switch from the original motor head is in here. That's why it's kind of funky shaped like this. This is just, I heated the PVC up and molded it around and put a cap on it. Made a wood knob and marked it for the positions. Turns a little easier when actually sitting in the seat. Bungee holds it on. You can see, you can just take it, undo the bungee, and the whole motor comes off. Wham bam, you're back into the into your storage without having the motor on. This on the tray system, this is my anchor pole holder, or anchor pin, anchor pole, anchor pin, where it's shallow water anchor. Here is, of course, and the wheels, here they are in the upright position. This pin will go here, and it's in here now, because if I'm not going to use this, I can take this off. Don't have to worry about this sliding, the wheel sliding off when this is in, because, well, it doesn't come out far enough for it. So I have this long old pole, 6 foot, and then I have about 2 foot of PVC slid onto the end, a little foamy for it floats if I drop it. Fiberglass 3/4 inch pole from Walmart, $6, and that's for storing it when I want to use it. So bring it over and drop it right in. Now it'll pin me in place in shallow water up to like 6 foot deep, which is more than enough in most places I fish on the Brazos. Where I use that is only 4 to 5 feet usually. So there's that. Put it back in its spot. Of course, there's the bilge discharge, the seat. I can't think of anything I missed on it. So there it is, all in its entirety. Give y'all a good look. Here I'm from both sides. Zoom out enough to get it where I can get the whole picture. So, excuse me. There it is. I really like it. I haven't had a chance to use it a whole lot. but I do really enjoy it. Fantastic kayak. Father's Day present from my daughter. What can you say? Friends and family just are what makes life worth living. Get on the water, guys. Have some fun. Stay safe. And for the first time you hear me say it, wear your PFD. Have a good one. Tight lines. Have fun.